Most drummers probably know that the double stroke roll is a fundamental rudiment with many applications on the drums. But did you know that there are different techniques for playing double strokes depending on the speed and volume that you need? That's what I'm going to share with you today. Let's get into it. So first off, we have wrist doubles. This is the easiest technique to learn, as essentially you just play 2 single strokes with the wrist. This is a great place to start, especially for beginners. Wrist doubles are great for control and consistency of volume, but only really at slow to medium tempos. As you increase the tempo, you'll reach a threshold where you can't muscle out the doubles any faster. These doubles will sound great, as they are very consistent in volume, but you have to work very hard to achieve this. And this is an issue if you want to play any faster. They are also useful for low volumes, as you have a lot of control with the wrist. But again, only slow to medium tempos, which leads us on to our next technique. Bounce doubles. Here we utilize our good friend rebound and let the weight of the stick, gravity, and momentum do the work for us. This takes some time to get used to, as we have to let go of that control that we used with the wrist and learn to use rebound by letting go of the stick to let it do more work for us. I would start first by playing a wrist stroke and relaxing your grip at the end of the stroke and let the stick bounce multiple times. It should sound like a dribble. Here you can get around 8 to 10 bounces with one motion. Now let's have a look at how to get just 2. Next, we are going to play our bounce stroke, and when we hear the second note, we're going to squeeze our fulcrum to stop the stick bouncing. I'm using the middle finger here as the fulcrum, but it still works with the index finger if that's what you prefer to use. Once you can consistently get 2 bounces on the right and left side, slowly increase the metronome using the same principles to get 2 notes. You'll find as you get faster, you will need to lower your stick heights and speed up the wrist inputs on each side. Again, this takes time, so experiment with loosening and tightening the fulcrum, changing the height you play from, and the timing that you play the strokes. If your fulcrum is too loose, you may get a late second stroke, and you might get lope doubles that sound like this. And if your fulcrum is too tight, the second note might be early, and then you will get stilted doubles like this. So experiment until you find a sweet spot to even out the doubles. This technique is great for faster tempos at medium to low volumes. However, it does have a limitation when you want to play loud and fast doubles. This is because as the speed increases, the second note will start from a much lower height in order to get the timing correct. This results in a quieter second stroke and an uneven consistency in volume. This is much less of a problem when playing quieter, however, as the difference in stick heights from, say, a 2.2cm stroke and a 2cm stroke is very minimal, so the volume balance is much closer. Playing loud and fast is what we'll cover in technique 4. However, first I'd like to share with you a technique that I find really useful when playing triplet ideas or odd groupings. Technique 3 is playing doubles using a Moeller motion. I also like to think of these as elbow doubles. Essentially, we are taking the Moeller triplets motion, and instead of playing all 3 notes with one hand, we are splitting it up into 1 note with the right hand and 2 Moeller notes with the left hand. So right, left, left, or the opposite would be left, right, right. The reason for this is if we play a double stroke roll, normally it's right, right, left, left. So when each hand plays, the other hand is resting for 2 notes. But if we play the sticking right, left, left, then the left hand only has 1 rest space when the right hand is playing its note. This is where our Moeller doubles is useful, as the circular round motion lends itself well to sets of 3s, as the wind-up will happen while the other hand is playing. So in this example, we are winding up while the right hand is playing its single note. Start incredibly slow. Even if the timing is a little bit sloppy, we really want to feel that circular Moeller motion. Using a mirror is a great tool for this. Practice with the other side too, left, right, right. So the same as with the Moeller triplets, as we increase the speed, the motion will get smaller and smaller until it's basically just the wrist doing the Moeller motion. This is good for fast tempos. It's a nice smooth sound that has a swagger or a little bit of swing to the timing due to the Moeller motion. So this is great for jazz language or any other ideas that use that sound. You can also use this for any odd note groupings. For example, a 5-note sticking, right, left, left. So I thought I'd include this one as I think of it differently to the bounce doubles, and I think of it more of its own technique and sound. Which brings us to technique 4, the throw snap technique, also known as the throw catch, open close, or push pull technique. I like to use throw snap, but it's totally up to you what you want to call it. This technique splits the load between the wrist and the fingers to play fast, powerful double strokes with ease. This technique, however, takes a while to get down, but is very rewarding once you do so. Start by playing a wrist stroke, and when you hit the surface, relax your fulcrum and keep your hand down. If done correctly, the stick should rebound back up, but your hand will be facing down. Practice this motion over and over, resetting to a closed hand and lifting the stick back up each time. If you're having trouble, place your stick down onto the playing surface, and whilst keeping your playing hand still but relaxed, with your other hand, move the stick up and down, and feel what it's like to let the stick pivot up and down through your fulcrum. This is essentially what you are aiming to create with one hand by itself. Another tip is make sure that once you've played the note, you relax your hand. If you bring your hand back up, that's more of a single rebound stroke or free stroke technique, which is useful but not for this. Once you've got this feeling more comfortable, the next step is to add in the snap of the fingers for stroke 2. We snap by pulling the fingers towards the back of the hand. I think of it as pulling the fingers under in an arc-like motion. If you pull the fingers straight into the middle of the hand, your stick may not make it all the way to the pad, so experiment with the angles and directions of the snap. Once you've completed the first 2 steps, step 3 is just a reset of the wrist, so keep a closed hand and lift your wrist back up to the starting position. Make sure that the fingers don't drift out when playing the first stroke. This is really useful when playing singles and you want that nice relaxed stroke. However, in this context, you want to be really mindful to keep the fist closed when going down, open up the hand after playing that stroke, and then close the hand with the fingers and return back to the starting position. So it really is that throw, snap, open, close motion. Another tip is to try and make sure that we're not pre-lifting, as this will slow down the motion. So really try and go down from the starting position without drawing the stick back first. Practice nice and slowly. 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, reset. Once this is comfortable, we're going to work on combining steps 2 and 3 so that you only have 2 motions, throw and snap. So now we are going to snap as we simultaneously reset our wrist back up. If done correctly, it should look something like this. If you reset the hand too late, this will slow down the motion and you'll be doing the 3-step motion from before. If you reset the wrist back up too early, you will get in the way of the snap and reduce its power, or the stick won't even make it to the pad. Once you can do the throw snap with both hands individually, practice alternating slowly. This technique can take a while to learn, so make sure to be patient and the speed will come. This technique is great for fast doubles at either soft or loud dynamics. It's also great for rolls that crescendo and decrescendo. This technique is a little more difficult at slow tempos, as the motion really lends itself towards constant movement. So stopping in between the motion is possible, but it's just a lot trickier than using just the wrist. So to summarize, we have wrist doubles, which are great for control and volume, but only at slow to medium tempos. Bounce doubles, which are great at faster tempos, but only at medium to low volumes. Moeller doubles, which are great for playing odd groupings, such as 3s and 5s, or jazz ideas that you want that kind of swagger or swing-like sound. And the throw snap or open close, which is great for doubles at fast tempos, at loud and soft dynamics. So between these 4 techniques, I find that most ideas using doubles are covered by one of these. Let me know in the comments if you have any other ways to play double strokes. And if you want to explore getting some unique sounds on the drums using items from your home, then check out this video here on how to do that.